I saw our home star fade away in a matter of seconds. Everyone on Belisar, all those people.
I'm very sorry.
And so am I. You've seen this before, you told me. This is what happened to the Monitor on Logopolis.
Oh yes, Entropy.
And now the same thing's happening here to this whole universe. The same thing that destroyed Traken. Tegan, this is how my people died.
Hi everyone, TARDIS Guy 123 here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Doctor Who The Entropy Plague. Now this is the final part of the new E-Space trilogy, which has been running since January in the main range releases, and of course it features the 5th Doctor, played by Peter Davison right there, and also Tegan, Nyssa and Turlough. And right here you have one of the enemies of the story, the Sandmen, which are quite creepy enemies. And just by looking at that picture on the cover, you do get kind of like a sense that they are rather creepy. And, well, there you have your front cover, of course, also starring Janet Fielding, Mark Strickson and Sarah Sutton right there. New Doctor Who logo and brand new adventures, broadcast audio drama, you know, the usual stuff. And, of course, here you have E-Space in the background, along with, I assume that's supposed to be the portal back to end space, although it could be a sun. It looks a bit more like a sun, I don't know. But anyway, let's open this up. In fact, no, let's look at the back first, sorry. They have written by Jonathan Morris and directed by Ken Bentley. They've got the cast, you know, usual stuff there, and also the blurb. So now we'll have a look in the middle, and just put that back a bit further. Of course, have the alternative cover there, disc 1, and if I can swing that round, disc 2, and there you have the Gathering Cobwebs, the Whispering Forest, Cradle of the Snake, Heroes of Sontar, and Kiss of Death. As mentioned previously, I'm not entirely sure why they put the Gathering there. It is just the 5th Doctor and Tegan story. So you think they'd go for the stories that feature this crew, and all the other ones do, so not entirely sure why they've done that, but anyway, let's take a look at the booklet. Just get that out quickly. So there you go, obviously your front and your back, which I showed previously. Then on the inside, you have a lovely image there of this TARDIS crew and whatnot now. And you've also got some director's notes there. And then you have some writer's notes from Jonathan Morris. And another image of the whole cast and Doctor Who magazine. And finally, we have that. And there's the next one, The Defectors, which I'm quite looking forward to. The start of the Locum Doctors trilogy, which is building up to its 200th release, sorry. Forgot to add an extra 0 there. And that one looks quite interesting. It's a 3rd Doctor story, but with the 7th Doctor in the 3rd Doctor's place. And there's a lot of mystery around what's going on there, and I'm quite looking forward to finding out this month, actually. We are now 3 days in to April, and that should probably be coming out around the middle of the month, hopefully. But anyway, the Entropy Plague itself, what do I think of this story? My goodness, it is a bleak, bleak story. I mean, bleak is not often a word you would use to describe Doctor Who. You know, you have dark episodes, but even then, there are moments of hope and light in it. But this one is totally bleak. There's almost no hope whatsoever. And, you know, the music reflects this. The music's actually quite epic in places, which also reflects this story very nicely. And it is just an onslaught of bleakness all the way through. Now, there is kind of like a different style of storytelling here, where they include narration, and you know, it makes sense. It's not just kind of like out of nowhere. It does actually make sense. It's almost in the style of Companion Chronicles, only you have multiple actors doing multiple voices and whatnot. So it's not like the Companion Chronicles, where it's one actor and one other actor. But anyway, this story, I'm not really sure if I like that framing device. And, you know, it kind of like reveals what's going to happen at the end right at the start, which makes it very predictable. And, you know, the whole thing, you can kind of like see what's going to happen instantly. And you know, even just by reading the blurb, you can predict what's going to happen. And obviously I won't say what that is, because that would be a massive spoiler. But, you know, it's rather I think most of you will know what I'm on about when I say what is going to happen in this story. It's quite sad, to be honest. But I think it almost takes away from the impact that they build up, that you know it's going to happen. And, you know, unlike the new series, they can get away with these types of things where you don't know what's going to happen, but they just spoil that element of surprise here right from the get-go, which is unfortunate. And then basically the way the narration works is you have a different actor performing each different, kind of like narrating each different episode. So you got 4 episodes and 4 different regulars. I don't feel it works so well in the final episode so much, but I'm not sure. It's just the narration was a bit lost on me, and also the narration is used in kind of like elements that you wouldn't really use it in real life. It's used to describe places and whatnot and things, and you know, when you're telling the story as they would in the narration bit, it just feels a bit pointless in a way. But anyway, that minor, well, it's not really a minor flaw, but it doesn't bother me too much. I like the idea behind it, and I think sometimes it works. It's just sometimes it doesn't, unfortunately. And that's just me. It will work differently on different people, I guess. But anyway, Peter Davison, what a performance he gives in this. I mean, I know some people aren't fond of his run on TV, but I cannot fault his performance in this. It is absolutely incredible. He just puts his heart and soul into it, he really does. And it's full of emotion and just works so well. And it even gets kind of like a manipulative side of his Doctor, just a little bit, not too much. But he almost goes down that 7th Doctor route at one point, which is quite interesting, but he quickly veers away from that, which is nice because it kind of shows his own Doctor. But nevertheless, we do get to see Tegan and Nyssa's reaction to that kind of like different side to him, which is also very nice for this story. And also, it's a very desperate story. You kind of like feel that there's no hope going on here. And the story itself, plot-wise, I'd call it a mix between Doomsday and... I'm trying to think of other stories. It's very much got a lot of Doomsday elements in this, but it's done much better than Doomsday is. The idea that the portal has to be closed and whatnot, that's all very nice. And also, there's just this... Oh, Utopia, that's another one. The idea that the universe is dying and whatnot, and there's very little hope. But this is far bleaker, and it's just far bleaker than both those stories. I was about to say better, but to be honest, I prefer Utopia. That's an episode by itself. Doomsday, this is much better than Doomsday. But anyway, you know, I think Bleak pretty much sums this story up better than no other story I can imagine. It carries on the kind of like arc trend that's been going throughout this trilogy that was mainly started in Equilibrium. It isn't really brought up too much in, what's it called? Mistfall, that's it. It isn't really brought up too much. It's mainly the Entropy Plague and Equilibrium which carry that story thread forward. And also, it picks up on something that was hinted at way back in the original East Space trilogy in 1980, and that is the wasting. If you remember in, what's it called? The Vampire one. I've completely forgotten the name of it. The story now, it's totally on. State of Decay, that's it. State of Decay, it reveals what the wasting is, which was brought up in that. So if you want to know what the wasting is, you can probably already guess it, but you might as well pick up this story and find out. Now, the Sandmen are very good villains in this, very good monsters, but they're not the only monsters. I won't reveal what the other monsters are though. But nevertheless, the Sandmen are very creepy and they sound incredible. So that's a strong point of this story. However, another flaw in this, it's a minor flaw, but it's just one that really got at me. And that's a bit of a continuity mistake within the story itself. And that is Tegan knowing where the TARDIS is when she shouldn't do. I don't feel why she shouldn't, but basically, if you've listened to this story, or listened to the previous story, Equilibrium, you'll know what I mean when I say she shouldn't know where the TARDIS is at the start of this story. and yet in the second part she talks about where it is as if she was there when she shouldn't have been. It's a minor continuity flaw, but nevertheless it does annoy me just that little bit. And, you know, it's easily fixable, but nevertheless, you know, minor flaw there. But overall, the story is very bleak. To be honest, I prefer Equilibrium to this, and I think, while I would say I'd rather while I would rather listen to Mistfall just because it's not as bleak, I do prefer this as a story. It's just Mistfall is one I can watch anytime, whereas this one, you kind of can't watch it too much because it is that intense of a watch. So, Entropy Plague, 8 out of 10, I think is a good rating for this one. So, thanks for watching this review, everyone. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Next up will be Attack of the Sandmen review. Of course, Easter break now, so hopefully lots more videos coming along your way. But anyway, thanks for watching, everyone, and I will, of course, see you next time. Bye, everyone.